Hi everybody, welcome to episode 8 of A Fern Between Us. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Jesse.
And we are actually sponsored this week by, I hope I don't butcher this, Garde Velise. I'm pretty sure that's not how it's pronounced, but awesome company that makes these really cool wine suitcases for traveling. And it's brought to us by Texas Wine Lover. Thank you so much for getting us hooked up with this and helping support getting wine in people's hands. I'd also like to say Jeff Cope, who is Texas Wine Lover. It's his birthday today, so happy birthday.
Happy birthday, man.
So we're gonna check in real quick. And then we're also going to do a little bit of talking about this really cool suitcase. And then we will ask a question towards the end of the show. And then the first person to answer correctly, we're going to be messaged by Liliana, who's of course one of the owners. And she's going to let us know who answered it the fastest. And that's the person that wins it, and then it's shipped directly to your door. So that's
First
cool.
answer wins. This is pretty sweet.
I know, get your thumbs ready.
Did you do an intro to say who we are, what the name of the show is, any of that?
Yeah, were you there?
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay. You
But
said
that's-
Vivac Winery, all that stuff? Maybe not.
I did not say the Vivac Winery part, but I did say the name of the show
Okay.
and the sponsorship.
Okay, cool.
Honey, it's a little worrisome that you're not participating in present time, but okay. Another thing, if you are watching this in the recorded version and you just want one of these babies, because they're so cool, you can actually, in the next 2 weeks, use VIVAC, V-I-V-A-C, 514 as the code and get on their website and get 30% off. So that's pretty awesome.
So tell us about these things. Do you got, they're basically suitcases, right?
They are. They're suitcases that can be completely changed around. So you can take all these parts out and then it's really just, a great piece of luggage, but you have two sides. So you could pack 4 bottles on this side and pack your clothes on the other side and have it really compact. I don't know about you, but I always feel like a lush when I'm moving into a hotel room and I've got a bunch of bottles and my luggage and I don't know.
Or if you're going to wine country and you want to come
For
back with
sure.
some, or you're going to be in New Mexico and you're going to visit us, you need lots of wine when you go back. They have a smaller one than this, and they have a medium one.
This is the medium.
This is the medium, which is 8 bottles, up to 8 bottles. And then they have a large, which is up to, do you know?
12.
12. Okay. Awesome. This is way better than when Michelle and I came back from our honeymoon, and I just put them all in my backpack, carry-on. And luckily I didn't get stopped. They asked us when we came in.
This was many years ago, so.
And they're like, do you have any, anything to declare? I was like, no. And they're like, any, fruits, vegetables, consumables. I was like, I might have a bottle of wine or 2 in my backpack. And they were like, health products. All right, you're free to go.
Meanwhile, he was making so much noise because he had so many bottles in his backpack that he was like clinking through the airport. What did you have, like 16?
I think I had 16 bottles in there. It was bad. I could barely pick it up. So which wine is closest to me here?
Okay, so this one is the Abbott Red. So we are a little bit all over the place because we do want everybody to know about the suitcase, but we are going to actually talk about the wines that we're tasting right now. And hopefully, if you don't already have them in your collection, you'll want to pick them up this week. We are starting with the Abbott Red, and we did an episode that had the Abbott Red in it as well earlier, but this is a really fun comparison because it is predominantly Syrah from our estate vineyard up here, the Abbott Vineyard. And then we're comparing it to the Syrah that we get from the southern part of the state. And both are fantastic, but they are very different. And so it's kind of fun to look at those differences and talk about that a little bit.
Cool.
Do do you feel like you do the exact same winemaking with both of them, and the only thing that you're showing is the difference in vineyard, or do you use different yeasts?
We use different
treatments?
yeasts on all of our wines. For the Abbott Red, we definitely used a different strain of yeast than we would have used on the Southern Syrah.
And why is that?
Depending on what we're looking for. So, you know, out of the south, it's a little warmer climate. We're looking for kind of darker, more bigger, darker fruits, jammier fruits, that kind of thing. Whereas in the northern wines, it's gonna show best with, like, you know, more of the bright berry, you know, kind of, you know, cranberry, you know, those kind of lighter notes,
Which I think you can really tell.
And a little more floral and stuff like that. We're looking for more spice, probably out of the south a little bit, or at least the spice will be different.
I get a lot of spice and a lot of those dark elements, and also more of that northern Rhone funky kind of aspect that a lot of people are looking for very specifically in a traditional style Syrah.
Exactly. So Syrah can be so spicy, it can be so funky. It's grown up and down the Rhone Valley a lot. And so any of those, the Côte du Rhône, even your rosé is made out, you know, the Tavel rosé is made out of a whole bunch of Syrah. Grenache as well as, you know, Syrah, Grenache, Mourvèdre are kind of like the GCM. Those are kind of the grapes that tend to go well out of the Rhone, and some of the New World places do that as well. But here in New Mexico, I've found that the Syrah is better. You know, I don't really like it with the Grenache and the Mourvèdre necessarily as much. We haven't played around with Grenache and Mourvèdre as much, but we have a little bit, and I've just always liked the Syrah better. So we don't here, but in other areas, definitely go well together. And you should try some of those as well.
So we did get a little jumbled as we were getting started today, but one of the things that I did want to note was we are listening to your feedback and your comments, and again, the reason why we can't interact as much is because we're filming this on my phone, so we see that you're commenting, we see that you're here, we love that you're here, we just can't interact right now. Also, you know, one of the big...
But Liliana's been on every time, and she's able to interact.
And she's interacting with you, and also we do go back and comment and respond to you after the fact. So hopefully that works out, and the camera, I swear, is on its way. I don't know what is going on, but you cannot get a damn thing shipped in time. So
also,
that will change everything too. But
if we weren't separated, or, you know, more or less locked down, trying to stay separated as much, whenever this is all loosened or whatever, we'll probably do this in a room together,
where somebody can tell us some of the pertinent questions that are being asked.
Exactly. Then we can have real-time questions, which is
exactly
great.
Which we do want to shout out to all of you, but there's also that you know, the live taping 101 kind of things is stop talking to the people that are messaging you and get your point across, which maybe we need to get back on track. So the other thing is we're back in the chairs. We got some feedback from a lot of you, actually, some more vocal than others about very specifics of what you want to see. So we are back. Karen likes being right here too, so we will be continuing to be in the chairs and just continuing to try to work on how professional or not this can be. Anyway, so shall we jump into...
Not very if you're having me here.
Let's jump into some of the questions. The first question, which you actually kind of nailed, was, have you ever used a travel suitcase and did you like it? And so, you know, our story is that the travel suitcase was a backpack, but now things, of course, are much more stringent. And our most recent trip,
we did over in Central Europe. We took a full case carrier.
One this cool.
because we had to take wine over there for several competitions that Vivac wines were going to be in, and then of course the empty spots got filled plus some on the way back. And then another time we were on a vacation and we had bought so much wine. I remember discarding all my lower end clothes.
Oh yes.
The socks and the underwear and the thing. Well, actually the underwear I think we kept. But we put whatever we could put in your bag, we put in your bag and just filled my suitcase with bottles. But some of them broke. It's not gonna be like this thing. This is the right way to go. This is an adult way to go. We were kids at the time.
Well, and the one that we used over in Central Europe is like a big cube, and pulling that thing through the airport was a real pain to just check
massive. It was
I mean, of course we weren't taking it on the plane, but it had like a pulley that was just a piece of fabric. Yeah. And this actually has an actual
full on regular like
handle.
Suitcase like you know it.
Yeah. And of course there's always, the idea that if you can, a fun part of this is that you pack this when you're headed somewhere with some local wines, and then you can trade those. I don't know if you guys know this, but that's kind of a industry secret, that you take wine from wherever you're from and then you trade it with the winemakers in Napa or Central Europe or wherever you happen to be going, Italy, France. And a lot of those winemakers are really open to trying something that comes from New Mexico. So that's a kind of a fun way to do it too.
Yeah, and probably not at your bigger wineries, the biggest wineries, but at some of the little wineries, you'd be like, hey, you willing to trade? I've got a bottle of blah, blah, blah in the car, and you want to take good care of the wines, when you're on your way there or whatever, so that they don't get like some kind of like heated up bottle of wine or whatever. So you need to be, take care of them temperature wise.
Like in this.
Right. And, but also a lot of people are really willing to do that because winemakers don't want to pay that much money for wine also, sometimes. And so
we're always eager to taste other things.
Yeah. And we live a richer lifestyle than the income would indicate. A lot of times, so it's great to taste some of the better wines from around the world.
So, question number 2 is: what is your favorite or funny or worst travel memory that included wine?
Every time I've ever been to the Caribbean was the worst time I've ever experienced wine. Oh, man. Remember that cashew wine we had in Belize, was it? I don't believe it.
I don't believe it. The wine...
Was it cashew? I want to say cashew.
It was so hard to get any wine there, and then what we drank was terrible.
Oh, it's just disgusting.
And then we had to pay like a ton for a really, really low level wine.
Like $18 or $22 for like.
We know we could get it for $4.
Something that wasn't worth one. Well, I mean, something wasn't worth drinking at all.
You're not drinking as quickly as usual. This is a strange. What is happening? I think he's not feeling well.
Must not be. I had one glass of wine earlier, a Barbera that we haven't bottled yet. Ooh, it's good.
Ooh.
It's tasty. I think this is our best Barbera we've ever made.
Ooh. Yeah. Oh, that's a fun story. That's one of my favorites, is when we were first getting started and we were very serious about everything. And we're sending out our wine club, and Jesse writes up this letter that is about our Barbera, and he says, he's trying to say some pairings, like it goes really great with prosciutto and other cured meat. And typo, autocorrect says
this is before autocorrect really corrected everything. This was just as random, and you didn't have to. I don't know what happened, but anyway.
So the letter goes out. Prince goes out to all of our wine club members that it goes really well with prostitute and other cured meat. And
it's so ridiculous.
So we actually got some amazing responses. One of the best being an older gentleman who said that he dressed his older wife up like a prostitute, and that because he couldn't find one, and that we were right. It went really well with her. They were in their '80s. It was
Yeah.
awesome, but also
it was classic. That was great.
it was a little embarrassing. You know, you're trying to put your best foot forward, but I think that
Oh my
has to
gosh.
be one of my favorites.
I was so embarrassed. It's like, thank goodness that guy was like so awesome about it. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think we had maybe 50 wine club members or something at that point, and these guys were some of them out of Texas. I think they were from Texas. I can't remember.
Ooh, and
Yeah.
you know, the Texas wine lover again. That's how we got this Suitcase hookup. Awesome. There's great wines in Texas, in Arizona, in Colorado. Our friends over in Texas are really killing it. It's just insane what's happening over there.
I don't know if you guys follow, you know, how many of you guys follow our social media or whatever, but last fall, in November, we, mid-November, we got invited to be in New York with some of our neighbors. It was a Southwest wines, you know, the wines of the Southwest presenting to lots of media outlets.
Wine media specifically.
Wine media outlets, exactly. So we had maybe 20 people in the room representing 6 or 8 different wine periodicals and stuff. So they chose they were trying to choose the best 2 Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona wineries. There ended up only being 1 from Arizona, 3 from New Mexico, and 2 from Texas. But it was.
I think there were 3 from Texas.
Oh, maybe
there
3.
Were 7.
There was there
total.
was 3 from Texas as well. It was so cool. We had a private, you know, we had all of Racine's in Manhattan to.
Ooh, fancy.
They opened up and had like a set meal, and then we each got to like show our wines. It was awesome. And so getting to know some of the Texas wineries, some of the Arizona wineries, that was a lot of fun, and some of the better ones at that. So that was great.
Absolutely. And the way I met Jeff is that he is also a judge for international wine competitions. And so we've been able to judge alongside each other at some of these really cool ones. And one of them that we love to go to is the Texas International Wine Competition. It's just outside of Austin in Buda. And it's just this really cool group of people. And it's an awesome way to taste a lot of Texas wineries. Of course, they encourage those entries more so than other participating states, because that's the whole point. They're trying to get the word out about Texas, and we love it. It's so much fun. So
that's the way most competitions work too. They focus regionally, and then also want the validation of having other wine regions in there. So some are international, some are not. Texas International is international.
It is. And because one of the judges, who is a phenomenal guy, Luggage from Czech Republic, he actually brought a ton of representation over, and so we got to taste a bunch of Czech wines as well, which was really fun. They did really well.
Good.
So let's see. We have another question. What travel movies do you recommend, and how do you top your popcorn for that movie?
Well, you're always going to top your popcorn with brewery's yeast, Parmesan cheese, and then I use one of 2 different spices. You can go red chili. Well, obviously butter. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Butter first, and then a brewer's yeast, Parmesan, and then and you can spice it up one of 2 ways. If you go a little more like Caribbean style, this is I like Tony Cacheta's Tony's Cajun. It's a Cajun spice sauce, or Zatarain's is another brand of a very similar spice combination. I love those. If you overdo it, you can be sneezing the whole time. Or you can do like New Mexico style. I put a little bit of red chili on it, and that's really, really, really good. Movie-wise?
Yeah, travel movie.
Well, I mean, there's there's a few good ones. You guys are gonna get an insight into how ridiculous my taste is in movies. No, Along Came Polly there was some really good good honeymoonness on that one. Just painful.
No, Oh.
Along Came Polly with Ben Stiller and he,
and Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston, but Ben Stiller's
Are you
wife.
for scuba?
Yeah, Jennifer's wife on the honeymoon was not the best honeymoon partner.
Ben's wife.
Ben's wife, that's what I meant.
You said Jennifer, but...
Ben Stiller's wife. What other movies? Travel movies. What were you thinking?
I was thinking, because of the question of toppings, and I actually do like to play around with... Sometimes I'm in the mood for just not a lot of intense flavors. I love when we do that. But then sometimes I just want it plain. And it made me think of the movie Wild with Reese Witherspoon. And she's out backpacking and she has she ends up whittling away her pack full of stuff to be lighter. So she's suffering and it's uncomfortable, which doesn't sound very good for the popcorn version, which has nothing on it. But sometimes I like it that way. And I feel like that's a really good pairing with our Gruner, where it's simple, but they kind of complement each other. Obviously it has salt and,
Salt and butter.
Maybe it's
gotta be
the butter popcorn version in the microwave. That's what it is.
I don't like the microwave popcorns.
I know, but I'm trying to pair here.
Right. French Kiss is a great movie. You want a high quality travel movie? There's French Kiss, always a classic.
Oh, that's a great one, and a lot about wine. Right? The whole thing is he's trying to smuggle a vine.
He's trying to smuggle a vine back. He's he knows all about the wine and the soil and the terroir and the blah blah blah. Although he's got a character flaws, let's say. It's gonna be it's a long road. It's been a long road. It's still gonna be a long road before he has a winery, I think. But
That's such a cute movie. Well, so how would you doctor your popcorn for that movie, and what wine would you serve?
Oh well, Pinot Noir, and then popcorn. I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't eat as much popcorn with that one. Maybe I don't know. It seems like filling up on popcorn is a weird one with that movie. I don't know why. I feel like it's cheeses. You do a charcuterie plate with that.
Oh yeah.
And you have Pinot Noir.
Well, so could you do some butter to make it sticky, but then just some Parmesan?
Ooh yeah, no, that's great.
Right.
Do that. Yeah.
And then if you wanted to do white, I would say the butter because that's what makes it sticky. And then just the brewer's yeast with Chardonnay. That'd be yummy.
Right, but you still got to go light on the brewer's yeast.
Yeah.
Or just buttered.
But that'd be good. Yeah. Any other fave travel movies? What about a really weird one? 7 Years in Tibet. Not a weird movie. Great movie.
The best Brad Pitt, the best Brad Pitt German accent you've ever heard. He's from Austria. It's so bad. Come on, Brad. You can do better.
It was awesome. Loved it. We've watched it a bazillion times.
Yellowhead. No, that was good. That's a really good movie.
So what wine would you drink with that movie? Because that's not a specific wine area. Since that's
I would go, if you can ever find it, get your hands on it. I would go Mongolian style, just fermented horse milk. It's probably, or I don't know.
Wow, that's. Okay.
They're in the Himalayas,
But we're not.
Oh, right. Yeah. No,
I mean,
and I've never had that, by the way. Oh, somebody just recently was drinking that fermented horse milk, fermented yak milk. Somebody we know. I don't know who it was.
That guy that does all those adventure things on TV that eats all kinds of weird stuff.
No. It was.
What's that guy's name?
It was somebody that was getting in Bear Grylls.
Yeah.
No, it was somebody who was traveling. Somebody who was traveling somewhere, or was it a book I was reading about somebody who was traveling? I can't remember, but somebody was traveling and they kept getting taken into these yurts.
Are you thinking of Men of Salt?
No.
Which is a phenomenal book. You should definitely read it.
But but then, you know, everyone's drinking the fermented milk of the, you know, the herd that it's a thing, and supposedly it's not. It's kind of pleasant even, but that's what Genghis Khan and the boys were doing back in, you know, whenever, as they were raping and pillaging their way through.
Wow. All right, so that's not the
steppes.
movie to use. I think maybe we'll talk about like Under the Tuscan Sun or Eat, Pray, Love. Those are great, fun travel movies, and I would recommend, of course, we specialize in Italian varietals. So.
What was that awesome prison break movie from the Siberian? There was a Siberian prison break movie. God, that was a good movie.
Oh.
Had was Liam?
I wanted to call it The Long Walk because it was a really long walk, but that's not what it was called.
It's called The Really Long Walk.
Yeah, that's helpful. Yeah, let's spiral down that hole. All right,
This
so
is getting boring. All right, yeah, let's give this thing away, guys.
yes, so we are going to ask a question, and the first one that can answer this correctly, obviously, is going to win it. So Lily is right there taking note, and she's going to text us.
And it's just the first people that text into this show, right?
Yes, that post right now.
Okay.
So, what does Vivac mean?
Ooh, let's see. Who's got it? Who can type fastest?
And I should have said this disclaimer. Family and employees or previous employees don't get to play.
Sorry, guys.
Because we know you know. And
we want to know if the fans know.
We like that you're fans too. But we will be doing other giveaways that are going to be other kinds of fun ways to participate, and you guys can absolutely participate in those. Sorry about this. And if this goes well and Vineyards Velise wants to send us another one to give away, we can play again, and you guys can play for that one too. So make sure to be looking at your phone.
Okay.
And while we're waiting for Lily to message us, we are going to...
Jan, we need tips for the day.
No. Advice.
Ooh, advice.
No more
tips for me?
No more.
Okay. Let's see, I don't get to offer tips. Uh-oh. Lily says... Terry Anderson Miller was the first one to get it right.
Woo! Congratulations, Terry. Please message us, private message us your shipping address and your phone number so that we can pass that on to the company, and they are going to ship it direct to you. If you have a choice of color, these come in silver, black, or a burgundy red.
Ooh,
I think they
burgundy.
kind of are meant to be Vivac sponsors, right? I mean, those are our colors.
If things go right, maybe we'll end up selling them at the tasting room as well, but obviously that's not just yet with the lockdowns and all that. But.
So congratulations, that's super awesome. So back to advice. I was gonna have a trivia point.
Oh, that's okay. Like a wine tip.
He's just dying to stick that in there. Oh!
She said it, folks. I'm innocent on this one.
I can't get away from this. I don't know what the deal is. Okay, so I was going to mention to everybody that generally speaking, it takes 4 clusters of grapes to make a bottle of wine.
Really? 4 clusters, okay. That's awesome. How many bottles of wine does one plant tend to make?
Well, that depends on how much you allow the plant to produce and your tonnage per acre. So that's different for each winery or vineyard.
I'll tie into that then. At the 1725 vineyards, our personal vineyards here at the tasting room in Dixon, we tend to harvest about 2 tons per acre, which is about 1,500 bottles of wine per acre.
Ooh.
It's a really low yield. The lower the yield, the higher concentration of the grapes, the the more complete the flavor, the more concentrated the flavor ought to be in the bottle of wine that you're drinking. So we try to keep those low.
Even in the southern part of the state, they keep it really low too.
Yeah, anybody we buy from keeps it at 4 tons per acre or less,
which is actually really a small amount. People don't really know how to balance that out in their imagination, but you know, you can get vineyards in California that are mass producing with 16 or 18 ton per acre.
Right. And you know, 10 being a lot, but 5 being common, 6 being common, you just start losing quality pretty quickly. So, you know, 4 tons or less is great. 2 tons or less is almost unheard of, actually. There are such thing as places that go 1 ton per acre, but that's pretty rare. Even like in what do you call them? The Burgundy Grand Crus.
Oh.
Even the Grand Crus are like 2 tons an acre, so I think we're right in there.
Nice. We're gonna be Grand Cru anytime now.
I just wish we could do the $2,000 a bottle thing. I don't think that's gonna happen. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do that even if we could. I want people to drink my wine.
Yeah.
I want real people to drink my wine.
That's absolutely true. So as we wrap up, we are so grateful that all of you guys continue to tune in and share this, and we are going to try to do some more giveaways and be more interactive. We do have the wines for next week, which you're not going to like this.
Oh, Chris came up with the name of that Long Walk movie. It's called The Long Way Back.
Oh,
such a good movie.
And it was a really long way back.
Oh, those poor
awesome,
guys.
Chris. Thank you for
True story. It's a true story movie and horrific.
It is
you
horrific.
Watch it.
So the wines for next week. Let's see if he'll let me do this. You said I needed to pick them out without your participation. So I would like to taste our Nebbiolo.
Yeah.
And our Pinot Noir that has not been released, and allow people to place pre-orders so that when it is released, you guys get it first. What do you think?
Okay. You're in. You're on.
It's so good.
We've got labels, so we can actually sell it if we need to.
Oh.
I mean, you guys could get it first. You watchers right now could get it first.
So tune in next week.
Don't tell the wine club though. If you're wine club members, you get it first because you're wine club members. It's special that way.
Oh shit! We'll fix that up. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And just before we leave, I am wearing my new Vivoc bomber jacket.
Her new Vivoc bomber jacket because she was faced that way. She couldn't hear.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, yeah. Details. You can special order them on our website. White, gray, or black are the colors, and they are fabulous. So thank you guys. We will see you next week. And again, congratulations, Terry. This is awesome.
Yeah, Terry. Cheers, guys.